Great morning, great morning, great morning. I am Nicole D. Jones, and I am just happy and grateful for another day. I'm happy and grateful for life. I'm happy and grateful for you. I say it every week. I don't take days for granted. I don't take you for granted. And I'm going to remind you that you are healthy, you are wealthy, you are prosperous. Everything your hands go to touch, it must, it shall, and it will manifest, prosper, and grow great things because you are great. You're created out of greatness. All right. You're created out of perfection, but we're striving for perfection. We're not expected to be perfect in ourselves, in and of ourselves, but we strive out perfection. Okay. Once we receive perfection, our journey is complete. So it's Meal Prep Monday, and this is actually it's not going to take long because this is really simple. Life is simple though, right? But here's the thing. I always say less is best, right? So I've been thinking about that, and this is what I want to share with y'all for this Meal Prep Monday. All right? When I say that, what I'm saying is you don't need more to be more. You need less of what distracts you and more what aligns you. Okay? So when I talk about less is best, this is what I mean. What am I saying? Today, it's like you think about it. Think about the things that distract you. We need less of those. Now, we also know to be the best version of us unapologetically, what are we doing? What do we now know? What in our days that are predestined and they're preordained, our responsibility is to just align with heaven's agenda. Not our agenda, heaven's agenda. So what do? We write out our to-do, we write out our agenda, but even once we do it, there needs to be time where you're saying to that you wrote, not my will, but your will be done. Not my way, but your way. What am I supposed to do today in your way? Okay. So, less is best. What am I trying to say? So y'all know I said we can renew our mind. We actually, I don't say it. It's a principle. It's in that number one personal growth and self-development book. In Proverbs, the book of wisdom, we have to renew our mind daily. Why? Because you have to retrain your thoughts. You got to renew. You got to rewire, like we've been talking about. Okay? Your brain has that neuroplasticity. You rewire. All right. This is why we got to renew our minds daily. So, what am I saying? You have to also know that y'all know that drama replays in your mind, right? It lives in replay. That's why you can just be sitting there and you think about some foolishness. It's like it don't go away. All right. But you got to know drama lives in replay, but vision, your destiny, it lives in vision. Okay? Drama lives in replay. Destiny lives in vision. This is why you got to write the vision and you got to make it plain. So what else do we need to do to declutter? We got to have less toxic talk. We got to have less gossip, less murmuring, less complaining, less self-talk, toxic self-talk. All right? What are you speaking to yourself? Sometimes we don't even have to go outside of us. We need to tell us less is best, and we need to stop with the foolishness that we do to ourselves. You got to have more truth. This is why it's so important to speak affirmations to yourself. And you speak the affirmations based off of your true self, based off of who you have been predestined, based off of who God created you to be before the foundations of the earth. Well, Nicole, I don't know what that is. Pick up the Bible. Who does God say you are? He says that you're fearfully and wonderfully made. He says that you're the head and not the tail. You're above and not beneath. You are love. You are the fruits of the Spirit. Can we just start with that? Okay? So, less is best. Less self-sabotaging, less toxic talk, less gossip, less drama. All right? More of the true self affirmations. Okay? So, how do we do this? You gotta get to a place, because everything I'm gonna say now is gonna follow the meal plan. Why? Because you are your perfect cookbook. All right, that's dealing with the mind. It's reprogramming, it's rewiring. All right. So now, what's the education part? You have to learn what aligns with your destiny, not your distractions. If we're honest, we put more energy into what distracts us versus what's destined for us. Goes back to the book. We in the book of Proverbs because we're wise. Proverbs is the book of wisdom. Okay? James, 5 chapters, start there, is the book of wisdom, the New Testament book of wisdom. All right? So what do we need to do? Because you know that wisdom is the principal thing. This is scriptural. All right? Everything that I'm trying to give you, it speaks to who you are. So it applies to us all. You become what you feed your mind. All right? Why? That's the battlefield. Okay? The conscious mind goes into the subconscious. All right? But with that, sorry, a call was coming in. You become what you feed your mind, because what goes in the conscious goes into the subconscious. Remember, I told y'all that the battlefield's the mind. It's the conscious part of what we think. Subconscious does not reason. Your subconscious takes whatever you feed it. So what we gonna feed it? Soul food or junk food? All right. How do we, what am I saying with the educational part, right? What are you feeding? Soul food, junk food? I don't know about y'all. I like soul food. Tastes real good. But here's the thing. You have to stop feeding your subconscious from opinions from the world. Stop feeding yourself with what you see and start feeding yourself more from truth. Truth comes from the word. All right? Pick the word, not the world. All right? Note too that education, it's not always external. We're supernatural in a natural space. So even with education, even with the E, you got to learn your spiritual discernment. That's educational. The Holy Spirit, your spiritual discernment, that's the teacher. All right. Accountability. In Galatians, it tells us to bear one another's burdens in love. Why do we need a healthy accountability? Because healthy accountability can check those places that you can't see. So even when you have a car and the car has the mirrors, there's always a blind spot. There's always a spot when you're driving that you can't see. That's why it's called a blind spot. They've created little mirrors that have the little arch for you to see. I don't know about y'all, but all them extra mirrors confuse me. All right? I just need 1, 2, 3. And be aware that there's a blind spot. So anytime I'm getting ready to turn left, I look in the mirror and then I look behind my shoulder to check the blind spot. That's your accountability. Your accountability, which is why it's so imperative for you to know who is in that space for you in this season. They're the ones who can see the blind spots for you. They're the ones, they're less yes men and they're more truth tellers. I don't need someone around me that's going to agree with everything I say and do, because I am far from perfect. I got, based upon my perfection, I'm going to be here over 100. All right. That means my journey got many years, because there are many things. I'm striving for perfection because I understand the flaws that I have. Not in a guilt, I'm beating myself up way, but I understand. All right. I need healthy accountability. I need people around me who can tell me in love what's going on. And if it's a check, if it hurts, if it stings, it does not mean it's not in love. The delivery for me, most of the time, need to be a slap in the face or a kick in the, I gotta get hit in the jugular. You gotta grasp my attention sometimes, because I go around the block. I'm running around the block. All right. The motivation, as long as it's love. Okay. Yeah. All right. So listen, you need this safe place. You need this accountability, because that's where you can be exposed. But when it's exposed in love, you don't have to be exposed in the world. Are you hearing me? If you have someone in your space that they can point out everything that's wrong with you, and after they say it to you, they go tell everyone, that's not safe. All right? You need to ask yourself, who helps you stay spiritually aligned even when you're drifting away? This is how you need to gauge the people around you. I'm not saying you can't go have fun and kick the bobos and all that, but where are you kicking the bobos at? Is this feeding your soul from your spirit? Is that community? Is that accountability? What are y'all doing in your time? All right. Lifestyle. So you got to remember with your brain that all right, you can rewire it. Like I said, you change your habits, you change, these different things. We have the ability to rewire. That's the neuroplasticity, okay? But I also briefly spoke about, even why is it good for movement just naturally? Because our bodies are built to move in rhythms, okay? It just is what it is. It's all the whole neuroscience or whatever, all right? So everything that you do, it builds a rhythm for you. Lifestyle. You want to build rhythms that reflect peace, not pressure. Okay? You want your habits, the way that you move, the way that you live, it should be building peace, not pressure. What am I saying? Let's have less hustle mentality and more divine. Can we have some holy habits? Holy is not what the world has made holy. You can look at someone who's got a dress from the neck to the ankles and like, oh, she all holy. She look holy. But that skirt come up just like any other skirt. You don't know what she doing. I'm not talking about holy habits that the world has created. All right? We hustle in this space. But remember, that's the natural of us. We're supernatural in natural places. So what am I saying? We got to learn how to rest. We always moving. We're always doing stuff. We got to learn how to rest. And I say we because this is for me too. All right? But this is the thing we have to understand. With drama, What feeds drama is busyness. Okay? Drama feeds off of being busy. You just a little busybody. All right. The little busyness, your business, you're moving. I got to do this. I got to do this. No, I got to, I got to plan for this and I got to do this. And I say it for me too. I'm always in a journal. I got to write this. I got to write that. I got to write this. I got to do this. Blah, 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 blah. Peace, it brings stillness. You cannot be in peace and you running around doing this, that, and the third, even if it's in your mind. All right. So what am I saying? We got to do less chasing and more seeking. So we got to do less of the hustle mentality, less chasing success, chasing money, chasing advancement, chasing a grind. All right. This is what I'm talking about. And we got to do more seeking. What is that? Divine strategy. We got to seek more with our Creator so that we can align with heaven and our destiny. If we could put all that energy into seeking our Creator, how much easier would it be to lay out our already written, pre-written, divine purpose-filled life where we have the victory, we are in overflow, we are royalty, we are sons of God, we are the bride, we are all the things that this world will make us hustle to go get. Wow. It don't even take all that. It really takes more peace. It really takes more, man, we got this thing so backwards. So listen, your life, what it really should reflect is your healing, not your hustle. Man, Lord, so much falling in my head right now. Your life. I was just talking to someone last night. All right. There's a teenager. Well, he just graduated, but we have Waffle House Chronicles. And we were talking, and he's amazing young man, loves God, all of that, 18. And he likes this young lady. And he's always trying to tell her how to live Christ, how to be Christ. He is Christ. And I had to tell him, like, your actions will speak louder than words, because right now what you're doing, especially if she's not in Christ, you could come off sounding like judgmental, accusatory, and he's trying to do a good thing, but you can't talk somebody into their glory. You can't talk someone into their destiny, but you can be the light. You don't talk light, you be light. Does that make sense? So your life, whew, Lord, your life, your lifestyle, all of that should reflect your healing. It should reflect your journey. It should reflect you being grateful that you have every day, because every day is an opportunity for me to right my wrong. Every day. Not your hustle. Because if you so busy and you always doing this and always doing that, who wants to follow that? Listen, less is best. All right? This is why I'm telling y'all this. Less is best for me. I don't want to be hanging out with you and we got to be running or doing that. Can I have some peace, love, and serenity? All right? So here's the thing. When it comes to your mindset, Meal Prep Monday this week, mindset, have less of mental clutter and have more clarity in your vision, in your alignment, in your heavenly alignment, in your predestined and preordained footsteps. All right. What's the education part? Less gossip, less drama, less foolery, more of God's wisdom, because that's who you really are. Accountability. Let's have less excuses and let's have more growth, more exposure to things that will grow us. Okay? Lifestyle. Less of a hustle culture and let's have more of holy habits, more of divine habits, more of your true self habits. That's what I mean when I talk about a holy God. All right? That's what I'm talking about. So it's 10:28. I told you I'm not going to belabor your time, but I do want to end with a declaration because this is mine for today. So I'm going to give it to you too and hold on to it. If you don't declare and decree, if you don't create your own declarations and decrees, just say this one this week. All right. Today, I choose less of what drains me and more what aligns me. I choose less drama and more direction, less confusion and more clarity, less noise, more God. Less is best because God is more than enough. All right? So I want you to remember to stay humble, stay focused, and stay positive. Be the best version of you unapologetically because no one else can do it. And you are relevant. You are necessary. You are needed. Okay? Not only to your friend, family, and your enemies, but to this world. And that is why you have this journey to walk out in this place because you are the light, you are the salt. All right. So, again, I am Nicole D. Jones, and I want you to continue to have a fantabulous rest of the day. Smooches.